Hey, good morning. Hello to my friends and Pega partners from all over the world. Welcome to the Pega Partner Hour, a monthly webinar aimed at providing Pega partners with the support that they need in the sales, technical, and industry domains. Some quick housekeeping, as always. We'll be recording this session. If you prefer not to be recorded, please feel free to drop from the call, and you're welcome to watch the recording at a later time. As you all know, in today's, what I'm going to refer to as the Olympic edition, we have Pega's gold medalist, Chief Product Officer Kerim Akgonul, and Business Director of Product Engineering, Kerim Akgonul, to talk about all things Blueprint. They've got a lot to present today, and they're going to take some questions too, so please have your questions ready to load into the Q&A section whenever you think of one. Before we pass the baton to them, I just wanted to take a few minutes to announce our next Pega Partner Town Hall. It will take place virtually on September 18th, 24. Please look out for the registration link in the August partner newsletter that will be emailed out to everyone next week. Speaking of gold medalists, the town hall is going to feature the Pega Partner Dream Team: Judy Buckholtz, Jamie Mendez, Matt Healy, Anthony Abdullah, Nishant Bahani, and Rebecca Miller. They'll present on all things partners, including our collective 2024 wins, maximizing success in Q4, the 2025 partner program, a blueprint demo, and a preview of Pega Infinity 24.2. So again, please be on the lookout for the partner team email next week, and be sure to get yourself registered for this very great virtual event. So without further delay, let's turn it over to the person that you're really all signed in to hear from today, the person that I like to refer to as the hardest working man at Pega, Kerim Akgonul.
Hardly. All right. Well, that's quite an introduction, Randy. So thank you, and thank you all for attending. And what we're going to do is we're going to spend a few minutes bringing everyone up to speed on some of the latest changes and the evolutions on Pega Gen AI Blueprint. Let me see if I can start with sharing my screen. And what we're going to do is throughout this call, we're going to use in this WebEx, we're going to use the ability to do things like thumbs up to get a response from our audience. So let me just share my screen. And all right, somebody give me a thumbs up when you can see it. I got one.
There they go.
All right, there you go. I'm guessing we're good. Okay, so we'll talk about now the I heard Randy, you talk about the Pega Gen AI blueprints, part 2, bigger and better, I think is what you called it. The thing, we do have additional capabilities that we're putting into Pega Gen AI blueprints, and especially the set of capabilities is increasing, but we are paying tremendous amounts of attention to keep the ease of use aspects and the seamless way of interacting with it in place, so that we're not making it complicated, and we're trying to basically make sure that everybody from IT to business can stay engaged with Pega Gen AI blueprints. But you're right, it is continuously evolving, and it's continuously growing. Just to quickly remind everybody on the call, this basically this journey started when we first opened up early access to Pega Gen AI blueprints to our partners. Pretty much, it was beginning of March, end of February, and a month before it was made generally available on Pega.com. And then we basically, started seeing quite a bit of adoption. It's probably the fastest, new offering that has ever been adopted from my experience, at least at Pega. And then we basically, in the following months, we made it possible for the blueprints that are generated from this offering to be imported directly into the Pega platform, to be able to actually define the structures, to be able to build out the solutions, to be able to execute them on Pega Infinity. Now, one thing that basically we did during that April-May timeframe is we had a lot of calls with this series of partners, and similar to this session here, but we talked about the concepts of um, of partner templates. Blueprint templates are a concept, and I think a lot of you are familiar with it, which is essentially somebody who has industry expertise coming in and actually pulling together a set of processes and data models and personas and user experience constructs into a pre-built blueprint. And it's not only looking at the Gen AI capabilities, but it's also encapsulating the industry expertise of the individuals around how work is processed in various use cases across various industries. And we package them up into templates so that when somebody basically has a similar use case, they get to leverage that that knowledge and that understanding, that industry expertise. And Pega basically ships with I actually don't know the number, but dozens and dozens, I bet you Karen knows, dozens and dozens of templates across different industries. And then, in May, we started working with our partners for this set, for an initial set of blueprint templates that are only visible to that partner organization when they're using Blueprint to be able to showcase their expertise. And we're up to 44 Blueprint templates across 13 partner organizations. So, if at the end of this, if there's a call from me, and that is to make sure that your organizations look at which areas your templates show up and look for opportunities to expand that set. You all know that we basically unveiled a lot of this blueprint capabilities at June at Pega World, and since then we're basically pushing it forward because we think is this blueprint has become the standard way of starting every single project, and it basically has people talk about low code, no code. This doesn't have anything to do with code. This is basically zero training, no technical expertise necessary. It's all around business concepts. That is a completely standardized way for people to sort of align in their vision, collect their thoughts and understanding. And when we run through the import facilities, it has all the best practices and the best approaches already automated directly into the experience, and it dramatically expedites the time to get to a working app. And like we said, we continue to make this easier and faster, still while making it more powerful. Now, you've seen a series since Pega World. You've seen a series of new capabilities having been announced on the on Pega Gen AI Blueprint. For example, what I demoed on stage, an upcoming capability around BPM and imports, and being able to export blueprints from older version applications. We are currently working on, in addition to doing BPM and imports, currently working on doing Swagger imports to be able to have a robust definition of the open API models to get the connectivity between multiple systems configured quickly. We are actively working on a blueprint that is directly targeted on Pega Customer Decision Hub, which I'll show you during this call what that looks like. And we're also actively working on a mobile app that you'll be able to actually leverage and have on your phone. I have it on my phone. It works great. We need to basically get it ready to be launched. You've seen changes in the collaboration capabilities. You've seen changes on the list of languages that we support. I have lots of pressure to put the support for Turkish in there. So we have Turkish, we have Thai, we have Bahasa Indonesian, we have Polish, we have Dutch. So the list of languages has evolved quite a bit. We're working on Arabic, and it's taking a little while because we need to make sure that we handle the right to left engagements, and we're adding all the automation shapes directly into the case lifecycle. We're making it so that you can have parent-to-child relationships between cases and subcases and complex data structures, and And we're also going to release a ability to generate a checklist when you import a blueprint into App Studio. It will generate a checklist of things for you to complete to get to a running application. So there's lots of exciting stuff, and there's plenty of other things. For example, one thing I know that's not in this list is that you'll see very soon is when you, from a systems integrating perspective, are building a blueprint on behalf of one of your customers, you'll be able to actually associate the blueprint directly to that customer organization, which will give us the ability to do better prompting. So that's coming. So like I said, we do have a blueprint for Customer Decision Hub coming up. I'll let you take a look at these pictures for a second. We think this is going to really change how people across the customer base, across the various different organizations, can actually internalize the not just the differentiation of what the Customer Decision Hub can actually do, and how Customer Decision Hub basically works differently from other solutions in the marketplace, but also basically helps them see the value of what this basically predictive AI capability can bring to their organization, and how we can basically have a solution that combines the power of predictive AI directly with generative AI. And we think this is basically going to really increase the number of organizations that will be able to engage with Customer Decision Hub, both from the systems integrator perspective, as well as from the implementation organizations. So what we're going to see is we're going to basically make it spectacularly easier to handle how we actually demo CDH to a prospect. You're not going to need an environment at the beginning. You're not going to need to set up, have any LSAs. You're going to be able to directly demo it off of this in our solution, which we think will make it increase the number of people who are skilled to be able to show off, and it will also help people learn what it does. We're going to make the implementations faster and easier, and again, same concept as the core blueprint, to be able to make sure that the implementations all start directly with the best practices, and it's going to allow our existing clients to be able to add new use cases to the solution. So let me quickly show you what this will look like. So when you're starting a blueprint, I'm not sure if the interaction will be like this, but you can have workflow-based blueprints, which is what we basically do today, or you can have basically a blueprint that is targeted towards doing an engagement strategy. Now here we will prompt for the actual website of the organization that is going to be able to drive this engagement, and we're going to ask the customer, what is the objective? What are we trying to do? And this is when the first set of Gen AI capabilities come in play. We will actually go to that website and basically pull a set of information from that organization and use that to drive this blueprint for Customer Decision Hub experience. First of all, we'll basically decide what products that they have that they promote on their websites. We will check to see what are some of the major outcomes that they like to focus on. They can select one, they can select all, but per industry, we have a pretty good understanding. We'll go in and we'll talk about which channels are actually going to be used to drive that one-to-one engagement and communication. And every step of the way, the Customer Decision Hub blueprint will combine the industry knowledge of Pega in this space with the power of generative AI to make basic recommendations. One thing we basically look for is understanding the voice of the brand. what is the voice of that brand? And each different brand has a different voice. Each different company has decided that they're going to take a different persona, a different style when they engage with their clients, and will basically detect it from their existing website, and will basically make recommendations, just like the blueprint that you use today. You can make changes to it. You can make alterations, but it will give you basically its understanding. It will give you how the voice will look like in action. It will basically talk about communication principles. It will generate a set of imagery. It will give you text for the offers that we're going to present. And it essentially tries to get to an overall working structure, and then still give you the power to elaborate and to evolve the definitions. And you see basically the 8-step life cycle on top, which is very similar in concepts. We have a lot of knowledge around the various different customer journeys, and we combine that again with Gen AI to determine what are the standard customer journeys that we want to establish for the end consumers to participate with, and be able to build the offers around that. So we'll pop over into journeys. Right. And now for each one of those journeys that we selected, we basically get to define the full set of actions and the stages that those actions will move through as we interact with that end customer. And every step of the way, and within every stage, there'll be a set of offers that will be presented and will be personalized for each individual end customer. And again, Blueprint will make recommendations based on industry best practices and Pega's expertise in this space, and we'll combine it. And then you'll be able to essentially make adjustments directly into the definition from here, right? So again, it's not taking the expertise of the individuals, but it's giving them a working structure, a scaffolding, if you will, of all the different elements. We'll basically, of course, need a tremendous amount of data to make sure that the decisions that we make are aligned to the personal preferences and the predictive models. We will have, hook into the data sources of the organization. Some of them will be stored in Pega's in history files. Some of it will come from other sources, of course, within that organization. And we'll define a collection of personas that will help us adjust all the offers that we put out and all the treatments that we basically show associated with those offers to the users. And all of this will be essentially editable, updatable, and the way we envision it is you're sort of sitting down next to somebody within that with expertise within that organization, and go through each and every single one of these. Go through the journeys and how the journeys are represented to all the different personas, and what will be the right offers to actually be presented. What are the right treatments for those right offers, for those personas across the journeys that needs to be presented. And all of it is essentially encapsulated here directly in the blueprint to give basically a common understanding of how the Pega solution will be structured to drive that one-to-one engagement using the predictive analytics capabilities. There's a lot of talking.
Kerim, that's a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, I've got my cell phone pinging off with text messages like languages, sounds like you have more than you don't. That's awesome. And then a couple minutes later, holy cow, an app. When's that coming? Then the CDA, like one thing after another you're saying has my partners just incredibly excited.
Good.
And I just have a handful. I mean, it's great. This is unbelievable what you're doing.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very exciting. And the thing that I'll ask for this, especially for this audience, is a couple of things. One, to essentially stay current with blueprints. There's not one person on this call that is not able to. I'm going to stop sharing so I can actually. There's not one person on this call that is not able to be incredibly effective with blueprints. I know that everyone here can be very effective with blueprints, but it does take continuous engagement with the solution. It does take a be getting on there on a daily basis or every other day, and definitely every week, because it changes every week and it gets new capabilities every week, and it basically helps us be able to showcase the value that we can directly bring to our organizations. Actually, before I pop in here, I do like the thumbs up and stuff coming up. So give me a thumbs up if you've done a blueprint this week. All right, we got a few coming across. Oh, good, jeez, there's a lot coming across. All right, well that's good. All right, well we have some hang tens coming up. Excellent. So well, I think that's awesome, and I like to basically make sure that you are all fully equipped at all times to use the latest capabilities. And my promise to you is that every week, and it happens to be Wednesday night, every week we will basically deliver net new capabilities. Sometimes it's just fixes and smaller adjustments. Sometimes it's basically big changes. So what I'll do is I'll pop in. Let's get back into our blueprint. This is just Pega.com. This is exactly what's basically out there for everyone. One of the I think one of the nicest changes that we did, that our blueprint team has been able to roll out, is this preview concept on the right side of the screen, so that as you're sort of capturing the vision for a business application, you're getting feedback as to what it's going to look like and how it's going to work. And I love it. I love the way it works. I like the fact that it says banking application. When I say banking, if I go into retail banking, it basically gives me that feedback. I love the fact that we have these Pega templates. Now, if you are within one of our partner organizations, and if you have blueprint templates that basically fit the retail banking application, you see both your set of templates and Pega's set of templates. I don't see them; they're only visible to be able to use in blueprint to your organization for your selling and customer engagement purposes. So I'll reiterate my ask, which is to increase the distribution and the count of templates that we have in place. And you are more than welcome to create blueprints templates that have the same name, that basically go after the same use case as some of the ones that Pega does. Now here, right in this field, we're going to basically make it so that we're going to be able to associate these directly with the organizations that we're building the blueprints for, which will give us more flexibility from managing these blueprints perspective, as well as being able to give better prompts and give better definitions. So I go up in here. We basically get into the to the first steps, and as you all know by now, right? This is the preview screen that shows up for each one of these case types. I can pop in here. I can navigate across the different case types, across the different workflows right up there. And I do believe you all know that you can actually navigate through these screens. These are actually simulated live screens, and you can see the life cycles here. Right? You can see a full understanding of how the workflow is going to run for each one of these things. See what it looks like on a mobile app. See what it looks like if it's embedded on the web page. What if it was extended to a contact center agent? Right, all of this is, I think, one of the most exciting new capabilities that the Blueprint team has been able to add. And of course, we are just at our core true believers in the center-out architecture, and all of these forms and all of these cases can be engaged directly through the DX API offering that we have. So this has essentially been a major change, and you can, I'm sure you'll believe me when I tell you, we're continuing to evolve both the UI that we basically simulate there, and the capabilities that we will have for defining the UI concepts in here. Now here's the lifecycle. Now this looks like this because I selected one of the Pega templates to be able to demo this. Why don't I go back in here and add handle issue processing. I'm just gonna make it up. Handle my process, because I'm just going to see if I can do the BPMN import here. Actually, you probably can't see my open window. I'm not sure what you can see, but I just imported a BPMN definition. And then let's see how that basically turns itself. I can show you what that BPMN definition looks like as well. So what we'll do is we will basically take that BPMN content, take the JSON representation of that BPMN definition that comes from either some sort of a modeling system or it comes from a different application, and then that people are looking to modernize, and it will take that BPMN diagram and it will actually turn that directly into a case lifecycle definition, automatically translating it. I don't have it on a viewer, but I do believe I can just show you. Just give me one sec. Here we go. So this is that BPMN definition that I just imported directly into that application. So it will do the analysis and the direct mapping of this file into a Blueprint's case lifecycle definition. And I am pretty certain that I am not the only one that thinks that this is easier to read than a lot of the BPMN diagrams, whether you're looking at the graphical representation or basically you're looking at the raw JSON of it. And because the objective is really, for years, for decades, people in technology talk about business and IT collaborating and being able to sit together and work on stuff in a collaborative approach, right? I know a lot of you go off and implement these complicated, sophisticated projects for some incredible brains out there. And I know that it's terrible when you go and implement something that is really, really complex, and then it turns out there was a misunderstanding of what the business wanted. And one of the objectives of Blueprint is to work through those misunderstandings on a canvas that the business and IT, business technical people and the business people can both understand And that way, when the technical people go off and like implement the processes, that there is no mismatch, and that basically helps us deliver more value into our organizations, eliminates the situations when there's rework that has to be done, which is never fun, and gives us an opportunity to really bring value to our customers as quickly as possible. So that's basically it. Like I said, one of the next things that you'll see coming up in here is right here when we have the add data objects, we'll be able to have the upload open API specs and be able to identify systems and their APIs and map them directly to the live data concepts directly in here. So that if an organization has, and they always will, have a series of external systems that this application needs to communicate with, we'll get the handshake of the data model that Blueprint creates with those APIs, directly and rapidly, and get us basically aligned to the project outcomes faster. And hopefully we'll get that.
If I jump in just for a second, there's a pretty relevant question.
Please do.
Somebody asked the question about, what if you want to build a particular use case in Blueprint, but you don't see the prompt in that first Blueprint setup? What are your options there? I think it's important that we.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand. I couldn't hear you.
So if it's not in that drop down, can you type anything? I think is the question. The answer, of course, is yes.
You can type anything. You can absolutely type anything. Those drop downs are in there so that when you're in the sales process, especially, you can just quickly get the concepts of what Blueprints can do and get people to sort of acclimate themselves. But in any major implementation, my expectation is either you're going to select the prompt from the drop down and then change what's in there, or you're just going to basically be doing a brand new one. But at the same time, your organizations have expertise in specific industries across the globe, and you have basically done some hard projects, and you have pretty clear understanding of what some of the processes and use cases are across some of those industries. So my ask to you is to get going on capturing that intelligence into a Blueprint template that will be only available to your organization to help you, one, differentiate in the marketplace, showcase your expertise, and really get to better outcomes faster. And this basically allows your entire organization to be able to leverage the expertise of a few within the company.
I want to say just a couple words. There's a question here about the process to get a template added. I know it's an evolving process, I will say.
Yeah, we're trying to get
and I think you'll be hearing more about that process in the future. But anything you want to add, Kerim?
Well, but look, if your organization has a Blueprint template to add, you basically have partner representatives from Pega build a blueprint, send the email. Right now it's basically still not fully automated. It will get automated. We are a process company. We'll get there. We're just basically looking to increase the library of them. And we'll be able to give you also your own ability to manage them as well.
Cool. Kerim, you're open to answering a couple more questions too?
Absolutely.
Great. So there's one around versioning. There's a scenario that was thrown out there for somebody who's on-prem with Pega 8.x, so anything from 8.1 to 8.8, I'm assuming. Can you use the Blueprint output to import into 8.x?
No, we don't have that capability. And my ask to this entire audience is to let's help all of us to keep our clients current. We talk about at Pega, we talk about KCC. KCC stands for Keep Clients Current. Keep Clients Current. We need our clients to be running the the latest versions. We need to recommend to them that they move away from versions that are now in extended support, which is basically, I think, anything below 8.6. I actually just sent an email about this a couple of days ago. We want our customers to be taking the latest patch versions, and we want them to move over to 24, and we want them to move over to Pega Cloud. We believe that the best value, the best performance, the best set of capabilities, the best level of security, and the best level of scalability and stability we can deliver to our clients is if they're running the latest versions and they're running the latest patch versions, and especially if they come to Pega Cloud. This is clearly the future for all of the organizations that we're working with, and we don't want any of these customers to be left behind. So if you can help me consistently and continuously deliver this message, that way that you'll be working on the latest versions with the latest set of technology, and that they will be getting the best levels of security and stability for their environments.
Well, Kerim, it's also real important to add for this audience, our partners' distinction levels have a requirement that they have currency, that they're up to date on that. So not only so your clients can get it, they're not going to get it if our partners aren't there teaching them what's the latest and greatest. And the best way to do that is stay current, and it keeps your distinctions where they need to be for sales opportunities.
All right, great.
Hey, there's one kind of more technical question, but I really like its theme, and it's around using enterprise data models and Blueprint and kind of opportunities for reuse. And maybe you would talk a little bit about what we're thinking about that.
Yeah, so there's two aspects to that. One is the capabilities around being able to reuse the existing data structures and data models during the import process. So when you're actually importing your blueprints, there's an opportunity to identify what existing assets from within the environment we will be able to reuse for various objects. And then the second one is we're working on making these data definitions, especially with the Swagger import, to be possible to share across the blueprints for a given organization. And that way, once you actually import the API definition of a system X for your blueprint, when your colleague is building a new blueprint for that same organization, that those API definitions and those connectivity elements will be automatically available to them for that next definitions to be able to reuse.
Great. So one other question about is there anything on the roadmap around using alternate stages?
Yes. So we'll have basically both the parent-child cases and sub-case concepts, and the alternate stage definitions will be a part of blueprints, probably this quarter, within the next couple of weeks. It will not be Gen AI generated, but it will allow basically you to be able to edit and make these definitions be captured in your blueprints as you're defining it. It was good. That's a good thought.
That's great. Yeah, and there's another question here around something that's been observed when you're importing your blueprint into App Studio. They're seeing that internal and external data objects aren't being generated, and wondering if there's an enhancement they need to be on to get that implemented. It seems like it might be a bug. I'd be interested in hearing more about it if you want to send some information over.
Yeah, and it might be either a bug or maybe a missing patch version at that environment.
Yeah.
I think it's important that that they have the latest patches, because we're continuously evolving those things. It will create the data objects.
Yep, it absolutely should. Okay, one other question just came from Neil. Is there a plan to facilitate importing existing apps? And so I'm assuming that means importing existing applications into Blueprint. Although Neil, if you have a clarification there, please let us know.
We are building capability that allows you to export a blueprint signature out of an existing application and to be able to evolve that stuff. And there'll be more of that coming too.
Great. Great. And then one question came in around Pega Launchpad, which is is a product offering that we have here at Pega. And if there are plans to have Blueprint be the starting point for Pega Launchpad as well, similarly to how we're focusing on that for Pega Infinity.
Yeah, absolutely. For basically for those types of solutions, which is Launchpad is the solution for organizations that are building applications that they license as a in a Pega-like environment. But yes, so the starting point for Launchpad will be only Blueprint.
Well, I think we just reached the end of our questions, unless anybody online has a couple more questions to ask or topics they would like covered.
Good to go. But look, I hope this was useful. Again, I want to make sure that my asks are clear, and this is a partnership, and that's how we basically perceive these relationships. We want to continue on giving you updates on a regular basis. We will be continuing to add new capabilities, and we'll hopefully do a better job at communicating the upcoming changes to you as well, which is one of the feedback that we got, which is to be able to let you all know about the changes before they actually they happen. That we basically get you all to be consistent in messaging to our clients about staying current, staying on the latest version, staying on the latest patches, and come to Pega Cloud, come to Pega Cloud, come to Pega Cloud. So to make sure that I'm clear on that one, stay in the latest version, stay in the latest patches, and come to Pega Cloud. That should be the best experience, highest security, scalability, and stability for our organizations. Fastest time to value, and the easiest way to then stay current is to be on Pega Cloud, and that you stay up to date with the Blueprint on a regular basis. If you did a Blueprint last month, that doesn't mean that you're an expert. I think it's an ongoing thing that continuously be able to stay up to date. And your organizations have industry expertise, basically that is encapsulated in a couple of individuals, and you can build Blueprint templates and make that expertise available to a broader set of audience in your organization. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of these to come.
That's great. I think there's kind of one great closing out question that came from Neil too. Have we had a lot of interest? Have we had a lot of excitement around Blueprint from our customers?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we've had an insane amount of engagement from our customers. The organization is running Blueprint workshops on a regular basis. It has been a major shift in how we go to market. Awesome. Well, I hope this was useful. I am looking forward to another one down the road if Randy invites me again. And yeah, I wish all of you a great weekend. Let's get some Olympics games in, and hope to see you all soon.
Kerim, thank you very much, man. It's always great to have you. Nobody does it better than you. In fact, I want to thank Kerim and Kara for in the Olympic theme of world record performance. I'll put you both on top of the proverbial pedestal, play some national anthems for the great work you guys both do, not only today, but every day. So before we go, we like to say we're going to give you some time back on this one, but we're not. I want to challenge everybody on this call to go to pega.com/blueprint. And if you haven't, make at least one blueprint. Click on the yellow Build a Blueprint button. It is quick. It is easy. See for yourself what it can do for you. And then you'll know it better to understand it, to show it to your clients. I mean, it's really easy. And like I said, we're going to give you about 15 minutes back. Please do me that favor and go do one. So as we reach the end of another Pega Partner Hour, I want to remind you that we're here on the second Friday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next month on September 13th, you see here, we're going to feature our government team with our call being led with Doug Averill. So please don't miss it. And speaking of missing it, if you ever do miss an episode, please feel free to email me. I'd be happy to send you the link to any of the previous episodes and recordings if you want to watch them. So with that, I wish you all the best. We look forward to seeing you on September 13th for the next episode of the Pega Partner Hour. Until then, sell and be well. Thank you very much for joining, and thanks again, Kerim and Kara.
Take care, everyone.